Today I'm gonna tell the story of the day I turned green. But before we get into that, I must tell you about how recently I broke my squatty potty. It all started when I was sitting on the toilet with my feet on the squatty potty, just like I usually do. My doctor told me to not push, just let the squatty potty and gravity work together to get the job done. It was all going according to plan when all of a sudden, snap! I broke the squatty potty in half. Like the stone table in the Chronicles of Narnia when Aslan was resurrected. I thought this was pretty crazy, and I'm not gonna lie, guys, this has happened to me before. But in the moment, I was pretty scared. I was like, because I kind of like went forward and almost fell off the frickin' toilet. I called my sister. Just a coincidence, but we were like, not because I broke the squatty potty, we just had a plan to call. And she told me, oh, I think the CEO was arrested for being a pedo. So it all worked out, guys, for me, because I think that it's like I just knew, I need to get off this squatty potty, destroy it, and get a dupe, squatty potty dupe. So I'm looking for that, if anybody has any squatty potty dupe recommendations, please comment below. But what was even crazier was a few days later, I sat down on my bed. Snap. My bed freaking broke, guys. I sunk down. I was like, Same feeling I had when I broke the squatty potty. And the same thoughts crossing my mind. Am I too powerful? What's going on? Am I too thick? Is my ass that powerful? What is going on? Computer enhance. But I deduced that it wasn't my ass that broke the bed, but a screw loose. It wasn't just me with a screw loose. It was also my IKEA bed frame. And I sat down and broke it, and then I found the screw on the floor. It must have fell out. Now I sleep on the floor, and that's my dog Pia. She was really excited. She was like, whoa, this is cool. The mattress is on the floor now. And I told her, I was like, I know, isn't this crazy? I broke it by sitting down on it. And she was like, didn't you just break the squatty potty? You okay, bruh? She doesn't talk to me, and then someone in my live stream said, be wary of mattress mold. So I'm scared of that. So I flip it on its side and air it out, and I put it on top of the bed slats, the IKEA bed slats. But because of my, ass destroying the squatty potty in half, I thought, oh my God. And then the CEO turned out to be a pedo. So I was like, something's happening at IKEA probably then. Maybe I should get a dupe of IKEA now. But so I'm sleeping on the floor. And then the next day, I have to go to the freaking airport, guys. I got 3 hours of sleep because I'm just not used to my new sleeping situation. And I'm afraid with the way my ass has been destroying things, I'm like, I'm on the second floor. I feel like it's going to I don't know, what's it going to destroy next, So I went to the airport, got on the plane to go to Florida to visit my sister. And I'm also playing a show in Tampa, Florida. I'm playing some music Saturday, March 21st at Cafe Hay in Tampa, Florida. I'll be playing some music, and it's a free show. So if you're in the area, come on by. It starts at 7, Saturday, March 21st in Tampa, Florida. You can check out my Instagram or whatever for more details. But so I get on the plane, guys. Oh my gosh. I took notes on the plane angrily, guys. Let me look at my notes. I sit down. There's 2 people next to me. I thought they were a couple. Turns out they're coworkers, and I think they both have families. Getting a little handsy with each other. They were both drinking, and I had to, squeeze by them. I'm the window seat, and this is Spirit Airlines. We're a little squished. So, basically, oh God, wait, hold on. There's something else I gotta talk about. First off, to get on the frickin' plane, everybody lines up. I'm group 2, guys. I didn't pay for that. I just got group 2 because Spirit Airlines knew. They said this guy's ass will bring the plane down. I had to put my ass through TSA, put him in group 2, right? They put me in group 2. People are cutting in front of me. And I am the guy that will be like, excuse me, you're cutting in front of me. And this man comes out and he's got a baby stroller. There's also an elderly woman in a wheelchair. I'm like, by all means, get in front of me, But this man has the baby stroller, and I'm like, it's a little different. This woman's on the way out. Right? This baby just got here. Right? Woman in the wheelchair and her family get in front of me. I'm like, okay, it's not even a line anymore. Everybody's just kind of like a mass of people just funneling towards the man with the strollers pushing it. Then I notice he's trying to cut in front of me, and he's doing this as he's cutting in front of me. I'm like, bro, if you're gonna cut in front of me, just effing cut in front of me, bro. Like, stop with this, like, yeah, I'm gonna cut in front of you. You know what I mean? That's kind of his vibe. He cuts in front of me. I noticed there's no baby in the effing stroller, you weirdo. I was like, what the hell? What is going on here? We get to the plane. He's got to take apart the stroller. He gets out of line. He gets out of line and lets everyone in front of him. Like he's a hero. He's like, you can go in front of me. Yeah, I got to take apart the stroller. I'm like, bro, it took you 10 minutes to cut in front of me because you couldn't commit. And now you're acting like you're a martyr. You're doing me a favor. What the hell, mate? So I was like, bro, what the heck? And then I sat in the stroller and I was like, go, 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 go. No, I didn't do that. I just got on the plane. I get on the plane. I sit next to 2 people. The guy's touching the girl's knee. He's touching her knee. And they're drunk. But they're talking about families. So I'm like, what's going on? But they're also talking about Slack and Teams. They're talking about work stuff. I'm like, what the hell's going on with these 2? I want to know. But I sit down and I'm the window seat. I got my headphones on, right? I got my headphones on. And honestly, there's no one really on the plane. I boarded and there's not that many people on the plane. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I did go to the bathroom already. But guess what, guys? I pee a lot, whatever. I also have a chronic illness where I'm chronically dehydrated. It's called POTS, and I get dehydrated a lot. So I'd have to drink a lot of water and a lot of electrolytes. And it makes me pee a lot. So I got to pee. Okay? Sue me. I peed at the airport, but I got to pee again. Okay? So I say, oh, excuse me, guys. I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom real quick. And they're freaking fondling each other and drinking and going. And they take 5 minutes to go, oh, yeah, okay. You know what I mean? And by the time they're done, barely moving out of the way so I can get out, people start boarding. And bam, I miss my window to go pee. And then the lady goes, oh, and then she turns to me and she says, I don't know if you're like a frequent flyer, if you've flown before, but usually you're supposed to go to the bathroom like before you board the plane. Oh, I was supposed to go on. I was supposed to pee before the plane. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I've never flown before. I've never been. I'm like, lady, this is Spirit Airlines, bro. We're on Spirit Airlines, bro. Stop trying. What are you trying to do? You're snubbing me. You know what I mean? I sat down. I was like, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it and then I'll go pee. When we're ascended in the air after liftoff and the sign goes off, boom, and you can go pee. I'll just hold it. So I'm sitting there listening to them being like, and I'm like, oh my God. Then the flight attendant comes over and goes, I need a verbal confirmation you guys are in an emergency exit row. I need verbal confirmation from each of you that you're comfortable if an emergency happens to open the door, read this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I've never done this before, guys. And I have flown before, but I've never been in this row before. Am I up for the, my ass just destroyed 2 household appliances. I don't know. Maybe I could break open the door with my butt cheeks and save us all. Who knows? And be a hero. But basically, the flight attendant is like asking everybody. And there's this one man who is across the row. And she asks him, are you able to, and he's like, and he doesn't give a straight answer. And she goes, it's yes or no. And I was like, oh. And honestly, because I'm glad, that she didn't ask me first, because I think I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, maybe, you know what I mean? Because I was kind of like, am I up for the task? And then the guy next to the other guy goes, that's my son. He has autism. Like, can you chill? And then she goes, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she leaves. And then another flight attendant comes and goes, all right, we're going to switch you guys. We're going to switch your seats. And they switch the seats with the other 2 people. Mind you, I'm going to Florida. So this whole plane, right? New Jersey to Florida, it's all people in their like 80s. No, but really it's like all old people for the most part, right? And they're like, you know how old people, like, they have no sense of like, I don't know, maybe it's just the boomers, but like that happened. And then I heard behind me really loud, he has to move because he's autistic. What? He has to move because he has autism. And I was like, oh my God, bro. I felt so bad because I was like, bro, chill. Chill, guys. Inside voices, all right? And then the guy moved. And then we lift off. And, we're lifting off. And I'm like, oh, my bladder. I got to pee, but I'm holding it because I'm not supposed to get up and go to the bathroom right now. Okay? That's the rules. And then the lady next to me gets up while we're diagonal, goes to the bathroom. And then she comes back after going to the bathroom and goes, I just got yelled at for going to the bathroom right now. But I had to go. I had to go to her coworker. And he's like, oh. I just wanted to be like, oh, I don't know if you've flown before. I don't know if you're a frequent flyer, but you're supposed to go to the bathroom at the airport. I literally, guys, I was like, well, I am at the emergency exit. Like, can I just go, and we all, and I would have been like, you shut up, you pee outside, you pee on the wing and come back in. But no, I had a responsibility and I took it very seriously. So yeah, that was my plane ride. And the guy in front of me looked he had a he looked like Charlie Kirk. He had a Kirkian. He evoked Charlie Kirk, and I was just staring at the back of his head because I was like, literally, my mind was like, it's like he was gonna like turn around and be like I was kind of scared. And then I noticed in front of him in the clip thing to the chair, like with the barf bag and the instructions, whatever, the credit card info, all that stuff that's strapped to the back of a seat, there was a Mr. Beast chocolate bar strapped to it. And I was like, how long's that been there? I almost wanted to be like, hey, Charlie, I dare you to eat the Mr. Beast bar. I dare you to eat the Spirit Airlines Mr. Beast bar. And then at the end of the flight, they come out, because I mean, literally, airlines are literally just credit card companies, right? So they're like coming out and they're like, who wants to sign up for a credit card? And the two people next to me are like, oh, I would love an application. And I'm like, yeah. So they get the application and she's like, excuse me, what is the difference between the frequent flyer Spirit Airlines Savers Club and the credit card? Like, should I? And I'm like, oh my God, you should have figured that out. And then she goes, can I fill it out when I get home? And I'm like, bro, the whole point of filling out on the plane is to get the 1,000 miles bonus. Otherwise, you're just paying for a credit card. I tell you guys. But that's my story, and now I'm in Florida. And I'll be playing a show this Saturday, March 21st, in Tampa, Florida, at Cafe Hay, for free, guys. I'm going to be playing some music, and I hope you like it. So now let me tell you the story of when I turned green to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. So, long story short, I went to art school. I worked many student jobs. One of them was being an RA, so I could have free housing. So my junior year of college, I was an RA. And even though it was art school, they're very serious about weed. They were like, you gotta like walk around and do the sniff test, and if somebody's got weed, you gotta get them out. And I'm like, bro, I literally just walked around and listened to music and went back to my room. And I was a pretty big pothead, guys, back in the day. But you couldn't really smoke weed because, like the RA can't be smoking weed and then get in trouble. Also, my boss was right next to me. My boss lived in the dorm and she was my neighbor. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do, right? I can't smoke weed, but I'm a freaking bothead. Dab pens hit the scene at this time, guys. Little sketchy, like the Rick and Morty Cartdemic dab pens. I've mentioned them before. Probably did some damage to me, guys. I'm not going to lie. They were a little sketchy, but that was the answer. I'm like, I just got my dab pen. That's fine. No one will know, And then when they're like, I need an RA, I come out and I'm like, I gotta confiscate your potato chips. Yeah, so my theme, so we had to make our floor. My theme was Danny DeVito. That was one of my themes. Anyways, so during this year, my junior year, it was very stressful, guys. And I've talked about this in the previous episode of my Patreon podcast, so if you want to check that out. Long story short, there was a murderer in my class. I'm not joking, guys. I know I make videos where I'm like, I'm MPreg, Mr. Beast ate my dad, stuff like that. I'm not Boy Who Cries Wolf, guys. So that was a very stressful year, okay? A lot of stuff happened. Not to make it all about me, but I was stressed out. I was very stressed out. I was stressed out with all my bosses at my school jobs. They were all kind of crazy. So I was hitting the pen, guys. I was like, I was stressed and I was hitting that pen and I ran out of my dab pen, but I was stuck in the building because if I'm on duty, that means I have to be at the building. I can't leave, right? So I was pretty stuck. It was also late at night. And I start thinking, maybe I could tinker a little. Maybe there's a little dab in here. I'm like, I don't really know how this works. I open up the dab pen. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, guys. I'm like in Spy Kids 3D Game Over. I'm Antonio Banderas, the dad, when he's like working on the brain and he's like, nobody move, nobody move. That was me. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I was working on my dab pen in the bathroom. My roommate was asleep. And I'm like trying to, and then I just go crazy. I'm like, you know what? Blah, 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 and I just start licking it. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And literally, guys, I was like, I don't know if I should be doing it. Ooh, I felt crazy. My friend Adrian was like, I think you like inhaled like the gas of the pen. I don't know what happened, guys, but it was the worst, one of the worst moments of my life. The frame rate of the world became like 2 frames per second. It was like, but it was like a 90s, or it was like, no, it was like an Avril Lavigne music video or like a 90s music video where it's like the apertures like change. So like the fade, if my hand was moving, it was like fading behind. It was crazy. And I was like, oh my God. And the world was spinning. And I turned green. I turned green, guys. And I took this photo of myself in the bathroom because I was like, am I actually green? Now, this photo is not really enhanced. The only thing that I did at the time was I think I put up the saturation, or I put up to C to bring out the green, because this photo is enhanced. So not to clickbait you guys, but the original wasn't much better than this. Like this, I mean, I'm not normally green, you know what I mean? So when I brought that color out, this is what was happening. And I was sweating. I was so sweaty. The world was spinning. And I was green. And you can kind of look, honestly, it's not that saturated. You could look at the other, my clothes and stuff. Like I was green, guys. And I didn't throw up. I didn't, I was just green. And I just kind of thought, like, in that moment, am I going to be green forever? At this time, Wicked hadn't come out yet, guys. So I had no reference for this. I was just green. And the world was spinning. I was like, oh my God. So I sat down and on the couch and I put on The Lord of the Rings behind the scenes. And then I laid down and I just held the couch and sweated it out. And was there the whole entire night. And then my roommate woke up, walked out, and just saw me like that. And he was like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. And I was pretty terrified. I had to, text, Mitch signing on for duty, as an RA. Little do they know that I'm green. I'm green now. And I was really scared. And it was honestly, I started to think, maybe I shouldn't have opened up the dab pen and licked it. And yeah. But there's probably a lesson here, guys. To just not, just don't tinker with stuff. Just, if you run out, you run out and, just go play a video game. I mean, I think at this moment I also was playing Rocket League a lot. So let me just play some video games. I put on Rocket League. And when you play Rocket League, the menu, it's like, it's like a rave festival. And I couldn't even get to the game. I was just mesmerized. I was like, by this music. That sounds like fun and all, but it honestly wasn't. It was the worst day of my life. Not the worst day of my life, but top 3, I would say. Maybe top 5. So that's the story about how I broke my squatty potty and how I turned green. And if you subscribe to my Patreon, you'll hear some more stories like that going on in my life. I will say the first couple episodes are kind of trauma dumpy. This was a little more lighthearted, and to be honest, I haven't smoked weed in 3 years, I think, because I got diagnosed with POTS, this chronic illness, and my blood pressure is usually low. So when I noticed when I would smoke weed or drink, I would just feel like I'm about to pass out. It didn't feel great. My heart rate would be like, you know. So I haven't smoked weed or drank really since then. But now I'm at a point, if my friends are smoking, I'll be like, just blow in my face. Me and my friends went to a pool party, and I didn't know anybody. And I'm also almost 30 years old. So this is like, honestly, it still felt like how it was in middle school. Like when you go to a pool party, I was like, I'm scared. And there's girls. But now we're all like 30. And they were all like doctors and stuff. So they're also like and I'm like this unemployed man who doesn't really know anybody. My friend knows them, you know, and I go there and everybody's like smoking and drinking. And so I was like, you know, I'm like, I gotta like fit in and look cool. So I had my two friends just blow their weed in my face. I'm like, we walk in and I'm in my my like swim trunks, and I'm like, and I brought fruit snacks. And honestly, that was the big hit. Like I was just eating fruit snacks, and you know, people were just coming up to me going like, "Can I have a fruit snack?" I was like, "Yeah, whatever, I guess." But low key, I was like, I brought those for me. So yeah, I don't smoke weed anymore. I just, you know, I guess I just, you know, I just vibe with the secondhand high, I guess, or whatever. Yeah. But I know there's people with pots who do smoke weed and drink and stuff like that. Maybe one day. But so I'm pretty sober, guys. I know a lot of people will comment on my videos like, dude, this guy's so freaking stoned, bro. How did he come up with Mr. Beast ate my dad and he's pregnant? He's stoned, bro. I was not stoned, bro. I'm sober, bro. I'm a sober guy. And it's also weird to talk about because sometimes I think people misinterpret it and they'll be like, dude, that's good for you, man. Like, good for you. Because they think I kind of went through like a sobriety journey. And then I feel like I've stolen valor for that. It's just much more, I'm like, no, I have a chronic illness and I pass out. Yeah. But I'm in Florida. Florida's pretty cool. There's a lizard that is flattened on the street outside, and I don't see that in New Jersey. So I was kind of like, I was like, whoa. And I haven't been here since I was 10. So, but yeah, guys, now I'm trying to play free shows, like music shows, to just, you know, I've never really played shows like solo. So if you want me to play in a city near you, comment below. It looks like in the near future, I'm going to be doing Philly, maybe DC or New York or Boston, maybe like North Jersey, like Asbury Park area. Just places that I could take like a bus or a train to. I'm just in Florida to visit my family. But yeah, Florida's pretty cool. I think my maybe I shouldn't say this, but no. Well, who cares? But I think my pop had a second family here. So maybe I'll run into them. But you know, that's a common thing if you live in New Jersey. Pop had a second family down in Florida. But yeah, people from New Jersey come to Florida to like die, honestly. So there's a lot of people I think from New Jersey and Florida. But yeah. So those are my stories. I hope you guys liked them. I'll tell some more stories soon that might be a little more trauma dumpy like the other ones. But we're going to get through the trauma dump lore, and then we're going to get into the other stuff, because so this podcast is about moving out of my parents' house. So I'm going to document the journey. And I think playing these shows, especially if they're free, maybe I'll have some where they're not free, but I'm spending money to like do them and stuff. So on paper, it's like, this is not good to move out, but I feel like I'm investing in myself. You know what I mean? And I think it'll be worth it. So, and who knows? Maybe I'll get I don't know. I think I want to try to find a manager. Maybe I don't think I want to try to pursue getting like a record deal, even if you know what I mean. Like people, I don't know if you guys look at the industry and stuff like that right now. Like I get emails and it'll be like from like distribution platforms that I'm on, they'll send emails every week about like AI music. Okay, guys, we got this AI, and that's like what the industry seems to be like obsessed about right now. With like, I guess like everybody. So I'm just like, yeah, that's all right, So I'm gonna try to do everything as independent as I can. Maybe get a manager one day or a booking agent or something, to help do like more structured shows and stuff like that. So that's the update with that. And I got some equipment, and basically my show is I've engineered my show to just be me with my guitar and a drum machine. Sorry. I'd like to apologize. Mitch? Yeah, it's me. It's oh wait. Wait. It's me. Mitch, it's me from the past. When you were green. You're from the past when I was green? Yeah, when you were green. I've come to the future to tell you that you were green. Why would you come from the future from the past to tell me I was green? I remember that. Oh. Yeah. Dang. He sees right through me. Now's my only chance. What? I'm Mitch now. Well. It looks like Green Mitch is the new Mitch. Now I'm going to answer some questions from my Patreon. The first question comes from Cringe Kitty. They ask, I got a question for you, pal. What is the most embarrassing thing that's ever flipping happened to you? That's a very good question. I think one of the most embarrassing things is okay, there was this like talent show at school. This is like my own fault, guys. I entered this talent show. I would do that at school, guys, because I just craved attention, because I didn't have, like, I went to a new school. I didn't really have friends. They were like, you're too gassy. We'll never be friends with you. I was like, please, excuse me. So I would just like enter these like talent show things, and one of them was like American Idol. Like it was like you would sing, and I just signed up and I just lip synced Britney Spears' Hit Me Baby One More Time. And I don't even know if my family even went to it. Like, it was just like I did it and I was like, why did I do this? You know what I mean? Everyone else was like really like singing. They were like, we are Charlie Kirk, we carry the flame, we carry the gospel. Like, people were really singing and doing the cup song, and I just did that, and I like threw like glitter everywhere. And I know some of you are like, no, that's so cool. But like in the moment, it was kind of like, bro, what are you doing? And I just felt like, why am I here? Why did I sign up for this? And no one even really came to it. So I guess it wasn't that embarrassing. Like everybody, you know, but it did feel like, you know, why did I do this? You know what I mean? But you know what? Never be embarrassed. The next question comes from Sadie R. They say, could you make a Dipsy the Teletubby ASMR and dress as him? Because I think you would look good in green. You know, at this point in my career, as an unemployed 29-year-old man, maybe that's the direction I have to head, you know. Do the Teletubbies talk? Don't they just kind of go like, do they? I don't remember. I'm going to put that down as a maybe. Put that down as a maybe. Haley N asks, so I had mentioned, you know, what shows should I play, or like what city should I go to? Haley said, you could come to my city in Columbus, Ohio. Then they said, I do have some questions. What do you do during day-to-day? What do you do during your day-to-day when you are not making content? Is there anything? Oh my God. Oh my God. I thought a bug crawled in my ear. Guys, this is actually gross. This is actually really gross. I'll show you. Just, dude, earwax just fell out of my ear. This looks like from Diary of a Wimpy Kid when Fregley's like, I'm sorry I chased you with this booger. I attached it to this apology letter so you could get me back. I'm so sorry. It just fell out of my freaking ear, guys. Earwax is gross, dude. I have too much. I produce too much earwax and I use this stuff to get it out. And it doesn't come out immediately. It comes out like a month later. It'll just like fall out and in the middle of recording my Patreon podcast. Haley N asks, what do you do during your day-to-day when you're not making content? Oh, basically balls of earwax fall out of my ears. And then I catch them. Is there anything specific that gives you comfort or fulfillment that your viewers wouldn't expect? If there's something new you've been wanting to try, what would that be? And lastly, is there a character from a show or movie you relate to the most? Thank you for the questions, Haley. I would say that my day-to-day is kind of honestly just like making music, playing video games. I'm trying to read more. I'm not reading as much as I want. Lately, I've been watching like anime, trying to catch up. You know, I've watched anime, of course, like growing up and stuff, but not a ton. So I'm like, let me catch up. So I watched, you know, a bunch of anime I've never seen. And yeah, I just try to work on making my pots better, like I've been doing qigong exercises. You know, this is one. You go like this first. You got your earwax on your guys. I don't know what to do with this. Like, I don't want to get up, and I'm just gonna leave it here until I'm done. anyways, I try to do that. I've been playing Wii Fit and Switch Rain Fit whatever the hell it's called. Rain Fit Adventure. I'm trying to work out, guys. Okay, the first exercise, you want to get your earwax that fell out of your ear, and you want to put it on your finger, and then you want to. That's so gross. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep this on my finger until I play the show, and I'm going to use it as a guitar pick. Okay, so the next question was from Haley is there anything specific that gives you comfort or fulfillment that your viewers wouldn't expect? I love the beach. I don't know if that's like that. Being at the beach, sitting at the beach, just listening to the ocean. I could do that for hours. And it brings me comfort. Honestly, it kind of fulfills me too, because I'm like, that I zoom out, because when you look at the ocean, the sea, you just see the horizon. You're like, whoa, makes you feel tiny. And you go, what the heck? Because I'm like, oh, across that ocean, there's some other people. There's a whole world out there, and it's kind of like, it makes me fulfilled in a way where I'm like, I'm just here for a minute, and then I'm gone. Who cares, you know? It takes the pressure off life. Just seeing, I think it's good. It's good for your body. Kind of brings you to the frequency. It brings you to the frequency, man, of the sea and the earwax on your fingertip. The next question Haley asked, is there something new you've been wanting to try? What would that be? I have, honestly, I was going to say reading. There's this new thing I've been wanting to try is when you cut your earwax on your fingertip and then you record a podcast but it's stuck on your finger. I think something new I would want to do, honestly, I do want to read more. That's not new, I guess, but I'm just trying to read more. And that's kind of a boring answer. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of anything new. No new like skills or whatever. I guess my music setup is new to me, like learning how to use the drum machine and stuff like that. So kind of like that. And then a character from a show or movie you relate to the most. That's a great question. And I don't know why I'm blanking, but I feel like I don't know. I love TV and movies and stuff, and I relate to everything. I love. Speaking of anime, ping pong, the animation. I've never played ping pong like professionally or as a kid, but I related to that anime a lot, to like all the characters, because I was like, oh, it's just like, I don't know, it just I feel like the characters in the show kind of, anyone could relate to them. Like, it's such a human thing. But man, I don't know. I'm trying to think of any movie or show where I'm like, whoa, that really, I don't know. I love Napoleon Dynamite. I feel like I relate to that when you're, especially the shot of them at prom, and it's the back of Napoleon, Pedro. And, oh my God, why did I forget her name? Your mom goes to college. Debbie, of course. Deb, Pedro, and Napoleon are at prom, and they're just like looking at everybody. I related to that a lot in a way. I feel like everybody does, because you're like, whoa, high school's so weird, you know? Whatever. I don't know. I love that movie, even though it's like a one-liner, or not one-liner. It's like full of like quotes and stuff. It's really funny, but I don't know. It is relatable to me. I feel like everybody can relate to like every character in some way, you know? Anyways, thank you so much for the questions, Haley. Those are great questions. Tessa Two Names asked, hey Mitch, I'm wondering how you're coping, or rather managing, with this stage in your life, i.e. the phase between living at home and moving out. It's very liminal, and I'm sort of in the same boat right now. I've recently got my master's, plus turned 25 in the same week. Congrats, dude. That's awesome. Happy birthday. I'm working part-time in research, and I'm still living at home, and it's freaking me out because I feel like I'm so behind. I'm just wondering if you've ever felt that way and how you've dealt with it. Or if you hadn't dealt with it, what advice would you have given your past self to help deal with it? Cheers. Have fun in Tampa. If you ever want to perform in Canada, Montreal is the place to be. But I'm just saying that because I'm biased. Thank you, Tessa, 2 names, for the question. And the first thing that comes to mind is it kind of go back to one of Haley's questions. You know what I also relate to? Surfs Up. I love Surfs Up. I relate to Surfs Up. What's his name? Cody? Yeah. He's like, I just want to be me, man. But that's how I feel like when you're saying, like, when you feel behind and whatever. I relate to that. Of course I relate to that. And it's kind of crazy. Like, after the pandemic, it's crazy. I catch myself being like, bro, I remember the pandemic. I was like, dude, life is so fragile. Anything could go. I'm like, who cares? Whatever. Anything like that. And whatever. If, World War III starts, I feel like big events like that kind of takes you out of your head. And you're like, whoa, it's all good. Like, who cares, right? Like, there's bigger things to worry about, right? But it's your life, it's your perspective of your life. Of course you're gonna feels like the weight of the world's on you. And some people, I know people, you just turned 25. I know people at 25 who are having kids. I know people who are getting married. I know people especially now who are having kids and getting married and blah blah blah, and or they're traveling all the time. You just gotta keep reminding yourself everybody's on a different path. And my path, unemployed, living at home with earwax on my finger. But big congrats on getting your master's. That is really cool. And happy birthday, Tessa, 2 names. And I completely relate to that. And I graduated, and then the pandemic happened, So it was a bit of a buffer. I was like, okay, it's all good. But then I had some health stuff, even before the pods, which I'll talk about maybe next episode or something. And I felt even more behind. And but what would I tell my past self? Like, what advice would I give? Hey, Mitch. Oh, hey. Sorry for attacking you earlier. It's okay, Mitch. It's okay. I'm just here to give you some advice. Oh. All right. Put the dab pen down. Don't eat the dab pen. Are you sure? Yeah. It's gonna turn you green. Little too late for that. What advice would I give you, Mitch? Yeah, what advice would you give me? Well, green is not your color. Basically, I would tell you, Mitch, to just chill out, and you never know what's going to happen. The world could go into lockdown from a pandemic. World War III could start, or you could get a chronic illness, or you could get other crazy health stuff and experience the turmoils of going through the American healthcare system. Yeah, you're about to go through that, Mitch, actually, after you graduate college. What? Yeah. The good news is you're no longer green. No way. But I actually love being green. I like going outside and camouflaging with nature. Well, you know what, Mitch? That's nice. But I think you should just take it easy and just spend less time comparing yourself to others. Yeah, like people who aren't green. Exactly, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. Wait, Mitch. Yeah? Oh, never mind. Wait. Huh? And I'd love to go to Montreal, Canada. I really want to go to Canada, guys. I've never been. I'd love to travel. Maybe that's something I want to try. I've traveled a little, actually, but I want to travel more. But yeah, Tessa, just try to focus on yourself, and you never know. Excuse me. BB asks, or BB says, if you don't come to Birmingham, Alabama, you're kind of not Sigma, DBH. I would love to come to Birmingham, Alabama, guys. I'm going to try to go. This is what's going to happen, guys. I'm going to put out my album, put out my music, and become super famous and rich, and I'll have a... But that's the thing. I don't want a tour bus. I just want to play with my drum machine and my guitar. So I'm just going to have... what are those bicycles with 3 seats? It'll be like my manager, me, and like a physical therapist. Maybe you could give me like shoulder massages like in between shows. You know, we'll be on a 3-seater bike going across the country. Noidometer asks, hello, Mr. Marsico. Would you do a time capsule box? And what would you put in it? For how long would it be for? That's a great question, actually. Oh, I'm upside down. Mitch. I would put Green Mitch in a time capsule. What? Whoa. Wait, oh my god, it's like Spider-Man. What the fuck? What would I put in a time capsule? Oh, man, that's a good question. I'll put the earwax on the tip of my finger. I hope to see some of you guys in Tampa this Saturday, March 21st at Cafe Hay. It's a free show, guys, all ages. Check out my Instagram or whatever. I also posted the poster and details on YouTube. So I hope to meet some of you guys, and I'll play some music for you. It's going to be fun. My music's kind of sad. Honestly, a lot of it's sad. So I've written some more hopeful songs. So I'm going to play some old songs, but they're like, it's a new vibe. I got the electric guitar. I got some pedals. I've got a drum machine. And then I'm going to play some new songs. So you'll hear some old songs, some new songs, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So hope to see some of you guys there. And I'll get back to posting YouTube videos and my Patreon videos when I get back from Florida. And yeah. And I'm going to try to film the show as well to put on my YouTube. Or maybe some of it. I don't know. So maybe I'll post that soon. Or maybe it'll be like end of year thing. I'll like take footage from all my shows and make like a tour documentary type thing. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. So stay tuned. Hope you guys like this episode. Some of the episodes are really long. This one's a little shorter, but I hope you enjoyed my story time. And if you want more story times, check out my Patreon. I'll be telling some more stories. There'll be a little trauma dump, a little lore drops. The first episode, I'm very dramatic sounding. I didn't mean to be, but I do sound kind of like and I think I said this in the other episode. I sound like the guy from Glee who's on tour right now when he tells his story about how he got cheated on 9/11. That's kind of the cadence I talk. I kind of talk like that sometimes. I'm like, and then I walked in the room. You know what I mean? It's kind of that vibe sometimes. So yeah, I hope you like my video. But yeah, this podcast is about moving out, so I sing this at the end of each episode. And it seems like a waste of time, if that's what it's all about. If that's moving up, then I'm moving out.